Hello, today I'm sharing this easy, everyday, natural makeup look. It's great for any age, but it's especially great if you're over 40 and you just want to enhance what's already there and you don't want to take a lot of time to get ready. So I'm going to take you from where I started and show you how I end up with this makeup look. You can use any products you have on hand. Today, I'm excited to partner yet again with one of my favorite brands, Lancome, to share some of my favorite products from the line to get this look. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's go ahead and get started with this easy, everyday, natural makeup look. This is something I used to do years ago. I don't know why I ever strayed away from it, but it keeps my look more natural looking and it kind of streamlines my process too. Instead of applying my brows and my lip liner after my makeup or during the makeup process, I put them on first. If you think about it, our brows and our lip pigment, they're already on our face when we go to apply makeup. It's been that way from day one. So if anything gets covered up with foundation or anything, I'll just touch it up later on, but I just find I get a really natural look, and sometimes I don't have to touch up at all. So I did already do my brows because everybody's brows are different. It's kind of time consuming. So I'll put what I use down below. I'll also put everything I'm using in the video down below. I'm using the lip liner in the shade 254 Ideal. It's a little bit browner and slightly deeper than my natural lip shade. I just wanted to try something different because I feel like I'm always using Bronzell. It's kind of my favorite lips nude shade. So if I'm not loving my lip color over this, I'll change it out to Bronzell, but I don't know, I'm kind of liking this. I like the brown tone of it. My shade in Lancome Teint Idole foundation is 320 Bisque Warm. Today I'm using just one pump of the foundation with no primer underneath. That's one of the things I love about Teint Idole is that I can wear it with or without a primer and it holds up in my hot and humid weather. And just one pump will even out the redness, even out those spots a little bit, and provide long-lasting coverage that doesn't accentuate any dryness, but it controls my shine really nicely that I do get in my T-zone. And I love that it doesn't flatten out my skin either. It still looks really nice and healthy. Sometimes I will build this up to full coverage, but on days like today where I just want that natural, quick, easy makeup look, this coverage is perfect. I feel like it looks really natural, and I would say it's medium to medium full coverage. So now I'm going to conceal my under eye circles and any just spots I feel like need some concealing on my face. So I'm going to be using the Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. This is great for both under the eyes and on the face. This is shade 260. I'm going to put a tiny dot there, tiny dot here. I've got a little spot there. I have a nice little bug bite on my neck, so let's just get that while we're at it. A little sunspot here and just a couple spots here. So you can blend that out with your fingers or a brush, whatever you're feeling that day. Sometimes I like to let it set for a little bit so that it adheres to the skin a little bit better. And I like that even on my hard to cover spots that don't conceal with any concealer that I use, that it still blurs them out a little bit. Oh, I might have needed to use my light shade there. I might top over it with the shade that goes under my eyes on my neck. Okay, so I'm not using corrector today, and I do believe I applied a little bit too much in that section, but that's okay. And I'm going to top that spot off with this lighter shade. Oh, and this lighter shade that I'm putting under my eyes is shade 215. I am going to use my finger. I get more coverage with my finger, and since I'm not using a corrector under my eyes, to save time and to keep this super natural, I'll put another dot where I'm darkest. I sometimes feel like people don't do that and then they think a concealer doesn't cover enough. What I love about this so much is that it stretches with my under eye area. So if it's not super hot and humid outside, I find that setting it is optional for me, which is a miracle. I've never had a concealer that didn't completely crease on me if I didn't set it. So you can see what that just did with me tapping it out, just one layer, and I am, just for extra brightening and concealing, and putting a little tiny extra layer underneath where I have more purple than other areas. And you know, if you're consistently not getting concealing from your concealers, definitely use a corrector underneath. I usually do, but you know, if I'm in a hurry, I just find this does it. I mean, I see a huge difference in my before, what you just saw me sitting here with, and this, and it looks so natural. So I always set my face because my T-zone gets really shiny, and this has been a long time love for me, this long time no shine loose powder. It also looks really great on the under eye area. So I am going to be setting both my face and my under eyes today because I am going to be out in heat and humidity for a long time today. I'm using the same just barely damp sponge that I used a while ago, just lightly pressing this under the eyes and onto the face, and I'm just just going to keep pressing this in until it starts to fuse with the skin and become one. Just looks really natural when you set your face this way, as opposed to just dusting it on top of the skin so it's a powdery layer. Those of you that don't get shiny and aren't particularly dry and don't crease under your eyes, you may not want to set your face at all. That's totally fine. This is the Ombre Hypnosis Stilo in the shade 25 Platine. I love using a budge-proof eyeshadow crayon on days like these. It allows me to skip primer, and it gives me a beautiful one and done quick eyeshadow look. You can use any shade you want, of course, but I just like to scribble it on the lid, color it in like it's a crayon, and then I just smudge it out with a dense eyeshadow brush. You can stop at your crease or slightly above the crease. Now I'm going to take that translucent powder and dip an eyeshadow brush in it, and I'm going to set above the crease all the way to the brow bone. That was hard to do while I was talking. I didn't want to set my eyelid because it makes it harder to move that eyeshadow crayon when you're scribbling it on, but I want to set this area because otherwise my mascara smudges onto my brow bone during the day. I'm also going to put bronzer in my transition very sloppily, very quickly, and it allows that to go on smoother. I'm going to take some under my eye as well, just to make my eyes look a little bit bigger, just to give a little bit of something underneath the lash line. And I'm going to add bronzer on my face where the sun hits me naturally, the forehead, the cheeks, the chin, a little bit on the nose, some down the neck if I feel like I need it. For eyes, I'm going to take the deep brown from this French Nude palette, and I'm tightlining with it just to make my lash line look a little bit darker and a little bit thicker. Even if I don't do anything else, I mean, you could totally stop here and curl your lashes and be completely done. But I'm going to do another step that I love to do. Some of you do this, some of you don't. I'm looking straight into a mirror and I'm again pretending like my lower lash line is extending into infinity just to give an uplift. You can see I have some creases that go below my lower lash line. It's even worse on this side. What I'm going to do is take a tiny angled brush and I'm just going to stamp that shade along that same angle. And I'm going to do it on this side as well. It's a little bit harder for me on this side. And you'll see there's a big gap there. I'm just gonna fill it in. So you probably think I'm doing just a regular wing. I'm not. Oh, I have a little gap there from that crease. That's lovely. So I'm just gonna build this up from the bottom. You could do a traditional wing if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm doing something a little bit different that you'll see here in a minute. It's a little more crease friendly. I'm switching over to a small pencil brush and I'm just going to swirl out and smudge that top lash line. You can use a different type of brush for this if you want to. This is what makes it crease friendly, more hooded eye friendly. I'm going to do a separate video where I show you how I use a couple of different shadows to give a really cool kind of sultry effect. But I mean, this is also really nice and easy and it gives an impact without having to spend a lot of time doing it. I mean, literally all I did was smudge out that top lash line, but I had pigment on my brush. It is also very wearable for every day. You don't have to worry about your shadow being totally even on either side, especially not once mascara is on. To round out this look, I curled my lashes and added a couple of coats of Lash Idol. It's a great everyday mascara that holds my curl really well without being waterproof. And I completely forgot to add blush earlier, so I added one of my favorite everyday neutral wearable shades that goes with anything. The shade is Miel Glacé. I think that's how you say it. I have all of my shades and everything that I'm wearing listed down below just in case I'm pronouncing anything wrong, which is a pretty good possibility when we're talking about French words. Now this lip that I have on looks like it's a lipstick in a gloss, but it's not. It is a long wearing lip color that I discovered a couple months ago and raved about it. I need to get more shades because this shade I keep wearing over and over because it's such a great neutral. It's kind of taking on the lip liner that I have on underneath it, which is interesting because it's not really sheer, but I noticed if I wear a pinker lip liner, it does look a little bit more pinky nude, and if I have just nothing on underneath, it's a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna put the shade right here on the screen because I know I'm gonna butcher it. I love that I can eat and drink with this on and wear a mask and it stays glossy and shiny and pretty and doesn't dry my lips out. There are very few lip products that can do this kind of magical thing. This has been living in my purse lately. This is a natural, easy, everyday look that anyone can do. Me talking through it took some time, and you can of course streamline any of those steps, but I've just been liking this look and wanted to share it. I just did a video all about my favorite tinted moisturizers, BB creams, CC creams. I'll have that linked here for you. And I have a more in-depth video on this Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer if you're interested in seeing more on that. If you enjoyed this, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!